when it comes to songs and when it comes to epic music. I've got two different sides of this tale I want to tell you. First of all, Within Temptation is going to be singing Kate Bush's song that's become so epic and a huge hit again. But that's karma of a great songwriter. You do the full circle. We've seen it with the Beatles. We've seen it with greats like Elvis Presley. We've seen it with opera singers. They just, no matter what the genre is, if you are an epic songwriter, people will cover your music and it'll come again. Or the original will float through like Kate Bush's. And I was asked recently what I thought was the very best version of that song, a cover version of, and I said Within Temptation, whom I featured numerous times on my channel. Please check them out. Press those little buttony things, and don't forget to like and comment on this video, please. That'd be great, and give me the thumbs up would be even better, but subscribing would be even better. It's a new channel I've done since January, and it's proving extraordinarily popular now. Listen, back to the song. What is the story behind this? The song was written by Kate Bush. The song was reportedly written in one evening in the summer of '83, and it was the first song recorded for the fifth studio album, Hounds of Love. Very epic. I think my brother, who's a humongous Kate Bush fan, has a signed copy of that, worth some money now. The electronic drums programmed by Del Palma and the Farlight part were present from the first recording of the song. Now the lyrics speak of Bush's impossible wish to become her lover, and he hers, so that they could know what each other felt. Kate played the verse versions of the songs to Paul Hardiman in October '83, and he commented, "The first time I heard Running Up the Hill, it wasn't a demo, it was a working start. We carried on working on Kate and Del's original, and Della programmed the Lindrum part, the basis of which we kept. I know we spent time working on a Fairlight melody hook, but the idea was there, plus guide vocals. Then the track was worked between November and December with Stuart Elliott adding drums, but closely following the program pattern. Alan Murphy added guitar parts, whereas Paddy Bush always provided the most ingenious instruments, played the rather better known Balalaika, I've never heard of that on this track. I don't know what instrument that would be, but that's my best pronunciation of it. The Balakia, we'll say it that way. The working title, Running Up the Hill, was a deal with God. Representatives at EMI were hesitant to release the single, imagine, as a deal with God due to its use of the word God, which might lead to a negative reception. Bush relented and changed the title for the single, and on the album and subsequent releases the title was Running Up That Hill, a deal with God. The song was used on the soundtrack of the movie The Chocolate War in '88. It's also in the fourth season of the Netflix series Stranger Things, and the song was to reappear in various charts worldwide, reaching number 8 in the US Billboard Top 100, improving on its original peak position at number 30 in '85. And the song also re-entered the Australian singles chart at number 2, which beat its original when it was originally released, and it peaked at number 6, and that was in '85. So the format's Running Up the Hill was released as a 7-inch, 12-inch in the UK, when it was first released in a gatefold sleeve, and later issues had a standard sleeve. The B-side of the 7-inch single was Under the Ivy, and on the 12-inch there were 3 tracks, an extended and instrumental version of Running Up the Hill plus Under the Ivy. So it goes on to talk about critical reception. It's been greeted with universal acclaims and seduced by the sheer strangeness of the music and the voice of Kate Bush. And the voice gets deeper as the lyrics get shallower. One of her atmospheric epics of all time, it's been described as, and Kerrang, amazing by others. It comfortably reaffirms her position as England's very finest female singer, songwriter and performer. And I don't expect myself to hear many better singles being performed by female artists in my lifetime, and that's the truth of it. I think even today, even though I set up this channel, I want to prove that the music industry isn't dead. And groups like Within Temptation prove it. Let's listen to their version, Running Up That Hill, and I'll give you a very quick rundown of those famous lyrics straight after. Now everybody, that's the best version, and that's why I'm playing it today. Forget the sunlight. I'll be running up a hill soon. Well, running up to the bathroom after here, because it's been a long day. But straight back to the lyrics. So we're going to go in and I'll just give you a brief rundown of this very, very famous song. Let's get going. Verse 1. It doesn't hurt me. Do you want to feel how it feels? Do you want to know that it doesn't hurt me? Do you want to hear about the deal that I'm making? So already we get, she's making it a deal either with the devil or with God. It's you and me. And if I could, I'd make a deal with God. So there you go. In the next verse, and I'd get him to swap our places, be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building. Say if I only could. But it shows in Kate Bush was a very reclusive person. She was very vulnerable and she was very susceptible to comments being made about her. She was an extraordinarily talented songwriter, performer, an epic vocalist, but beneath it all, she had her vulnerabilities. And I think relationships in the beginning with Kate would have been extraordinarily difficult, considering she had an awful shyness to her. And I remember reading all about this over the years. I grew up with Kate Bush's music because my brother was an absolute phenomenal fanatic. And I'll tell you a very funny story. He followed a girl all the way to London and was arrested in London because he thought it was Kate Bush in the car. And my mother got a phone call on the phone. And she said, "What? He's where?" He travelled from Manchester to... Why? Because this is all I could hear her saying. I still recall it to this day. And she went, Jesus, Mother of God. My God. And she put the phone up. Hung up the phone, sorry. She looked at me and I was too busy laughing. I said, "Did he really follow a girl that he thought was Kate Bush?" And she went, "Mm-hmm." "What are they looking?" "Me to pay the fine." "Or a fine or something?" "Well, he can just sit there now," she said, "for the next week or two." She said, "I can't believe this." That's as true as if God took me away now. So Kate Bush brings back many memories for good reasons and bad reasons. And I'm sure he was running up that hill when my father went down to London and paid that fine. Say nothing. Continue. "You don't want to hurt me, but see how deep the bullet lies, unaware I'm tearing you asunder. Oh, there is thunder in our hearts. There is so much hate for the ones we love. Tell me we both matter, don't we?" So there's a pleading there. She's prayed to God, let this work. Let him start showing his feelings, because way back in the 80s, men didn't show anything. Even that was hard enough to get a man to show that, never mind his feelings. So it continues. "And if you only could, I'd make a deal with God and I'd get him to swap our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill. In other words, I'd put your shoes on me and become the man and say to you as a woman, I want you, because I'm getting nothing from you." So that's what she's saying. And she'd run up the hill to do that if she could have that wish. And of course, pre-chorus too, it's you and me, it's you and me, we won't be unhappy. But then it continues, "Oh, come on, baby. Oh, come on, darling. Let's steal this moment from you now. Oh, come on, angel. Come on, darling. Let's exchange the experience." So she wants the sexual experience. She wants the love. She wants it all. But he seems to be passive in his nature and what he's doing, and it's not good enough. So she continues, "Say if I only could, I'd make a deal with God. I'd get him to swap our places. I'd be running up that road." So she wants to become the man of the relationship, which wasn't done back then. And you only have to ask your parents and your grandparents, for the younger people listening. And it's just one of those moments, isn't it? You would love to have the testosterone and take charge of things. But unfortunately, in those days, you had to wait for him. And the only person that would do it would be God. So, say if I could, I'd make a deal with God and get him to swap our places. I'd be running up that road. So she's willing to sell her soul and her life to God in a prayer, if this man can respond. The question is, did he ever respond? Especially when Kate, when she's writing the lyrics, was very shy. I wonder who that person could have been behind the running up the hill. So there you go, everybody. That's my version. Please press the button to subscribe, like and comment, and thank you for listening. The best version in the world is Within Temptation. Don't you agree? Thanks. Take care for now. Bye-bye.